I personally think that we should be thinking very, very hard about the evaluation aspects and data gathering about how we feedback for people to learn. We're doing something incredibly important here, not just in Southall, but in England. And if we don't capture the complex and important things that happen along the way, it will be lost. You know, the funding cuts that are coming next year are scary. The possibility of things causing problems are really very high. And if we're not able to capture what really works and how to sustain and develop people, we will have missed a trick. And if we do capture it, we've got something important to say to the world about how you run healthcare systems. And that includes not merely getting the job done, but nourishing the staff, helping people to develop along the way, embedding systems that people can reliably learn as they go along. And you're going to hear something about that from Robert Gale here, Head of IT from our ICT, isn't it? In the PCT. And welcome to Yvonne. I mentioned you before you came in. That's the first bit. The aims of this till now, till food's arriving at 7:15. The first half hour is a rapid guide through some of the sort of conceptual set pieces, and then we've got half an hour each for the 4 project teams. They are diabetes, led by Neha here, children and families, led by Camille here, anxiety and depression, led by Kieran over there, and dementia, led by BJ and Lynn on this table. I know that when I say that every one of those has got a team around them that crosses various boundaries and different disciplines, but it's quicker for me to just point out one person, so apologies for not mentioning everyone there. So we want to identify lessons from those 2010 projects. So each of those 4 teams are going to stand up and say something about what they've done, not too much, otherwise it'll go on forever, and their recommendations for other practices, and you're going to debate them and get some feedback about lessons from 2010 and what do you think we should be doing in 2011. And then in the last one, around 6 o'clock, we're going to suggest how the Southall model could help GP commissioning. Because as you know, GP consortia are only going to work because of the network of practices through this kind of collaborative working, so we're way ahead of the game about being able to think of this. Remember, we're crossing 4 eternal boundaries simultaneously. Primary care to acute care, secondary care to the diabetes project, illustrative of that kind of boundary. Diabetes and, primary care and social care, what it's like at home, through the elderly care, the dementia project over here, through the community mental health team. Primary care and the whole arena of schools and family and communities through the Children and Families project, and diabetes on brain, mental health and whole primary care through the anxiety and depression. So the idea is that each year we continue those 4 boundaries with new projects. Presently there are 26 practices in Southall, and they're clustered into those 4 projects. There's a 5th project, which is IT, and I'll just leave that off because Congress here. Is on coming here?
Please, it has to do with surgery, local and local.
Well, there is a 5th project that emerged 3/4 of the way through the year, and that is data management and IT, and Onka will be leading on it. It's hardly taking shape yet, so you can hear something about this from Robert Gale shortly. A lot of work's been going on behind the scenes. In fact, someone was from an earlier meeting looking at that.
We did that. Gilly did mention something last night about the workload. This is the workload project.
That's right. That's right. So that's really for next year, formulating the 5th project problem. But the idea is that each year we do another very, very modest, locally relevant project in that area, possibly by going around the bigger clusters. You don't have to stay with the same clusters. That builds on the previous work, always trying to stimulate and bridge with other bigger developments. And you can see illustrations of that even now about what's being achieved in the first year. So that's really very exciting. I need some water. And so that's it. That's the introductions. It's there. I was going to say introductions on tabletops, but I think you've been talking about it. Anyway, let's just hear who people are in the room by going around. And anything you want to say as you go around, you want to make sure we make note of today that I haven't signalled already. Just go around everybody.
I'm Neha Nakat. I'm a practice-based commissioning manager, also leading on the diabetes work in Southall Initiative. But what we are working on spans not just the Southall, but even wider strategy for diabetes.
Harper Isle and about you.
I'm Nick Bidmain. I manage the SAFE team in Southall. SAFE is dealings provision for children and families in need who fall below the statutory threshold for social services referral. SAFE is a multidisciplinary team and comprises of staff from social care, education, health, PCT, and West London Mental Health Trust, the CAMS service. So multidisciplinary children and families early intervention work.
I'm Sri Gautam, GP, local GP in Case Medical Centre at Dormers Wells Lane. I'm one of the practices involved in children regarding legal items. Therefore, 5 practices involved. Sole representative.
I'm Laura Nasser. I'm a clinical assistant professor at the University of North Carolina and a visiting lecturer at King's College London. I'm a primary care clinician and prescriber in the U.S. and have been teaching health promotion, health assessment, and professional role development for the last 10 years. I'm particularly consumed with my own experiences of having been a provider for underserved patients who can't seem to cross boundaries into getting the care they need and trying to find ways that team working really actually can work in primary care. And that's what fuels the research.
I'm Jean Leisure. I'm working on 2 things. I'm doing a PhD looking at knowledge use, particularly organisational management knowledge use in healthcare organisations, in primary care obviously. And I'm also on an NIHR funded project which is looking at service development and organisation in the National Health Service. And we're comparing 6 different healthcare organisations and how they use knowledge, and I'm looking at primary care as a case study. So those are the 2 things I'm doing over the next, well, for in total 3 years.
Okay, this is going to be a bit of a gallop because time is very tight, but we can do everything to keep the pace up. I want to remind you what the Southall cycle is. It's an annual cycle of activity where different things happen at different times of the year, and it's 1/3 of its magic is that everyone points in the same direction at the same time. A bit like deciding if you're going to drive on the left or right hand side of the road. It doesn't really matter as long as everyone does it at the same time. So in February, there's often, well, here we are, the beginning and the end where you feedback and you start agreeing your priorities, and then in February there's a whole big thing on train, we'll hold 5 E-Star events in the spring in collaboration with the whole of Ealing and trying to get a new GP consortium that will come out of the things that have been learned in the first year. Then there'll be rapid appraisals and examining the dimensions and the shape of the new projects that are emerging before residential workshops for the leadership teams, and then going to work with other people about how to make those more substantial projects and embedding them with data, which around July we will have got everyone agreed in all of the 26 practices what incremental changes are going to happen. Now those incremental changes will not just be inside practices, but as far as possible they will be linked with incremental changes in other places, in the ICO, in the acute hospitals, in other places. And already this way of thinking is catching on. On the 2nd of December, a big new project is opening up called the Mental Health Redesign Project that is in part stimulated by the work of that table over there. I know there's lots of other causes of this, but this, once you start thinking like this, you suddenly stimulate all kinds of other very big things. And I know that Yvonne's also got things to say about that in terms of the diabetes project. Provides that way of making coordinated plans. And between July and November, you do all this hurried coordinated activity where everything's a bit of a blur of action until you come back here and you're surprised that everyone's achieved it because you haven't held things together. Now, if you don't and can't read this, clearly every week or every month, a great deal of things happen. And somebody's got to think that through and lead it. Now, if we're creating a whole new world on 1/3 of management costs we've got at the moment, one thing you all going to need to be arguing is that this does not happen by itself. And some function has to make sure that all of that happens. This is the engagement by type of the various events. We are sort of like here, this is the July workshop. And I want to draw your attention not to the names of the various people, but to the colours and the graphs. Each of these colours represent different people's academics, general practice, mental health workers, specialist services, patients, and you'll see that everyone has got a fairly healthy mix, as indeed we have got today. And again, that's another part of its magic, is that it is able to attract at the right time people from different backgrounds to continue the ideas forward. Those are not the same people. Different people come in and out at the right times, and that's where the rule of 2 feet is pretty important. The people choose to come in when it's right for them, and they know the rules of engagement. Okay, so I want to use 3 images to introduce 3 speakers who are briefly going to say something about their world. Remember that when you did, oh, welcome, Tim. Drinks over there if you want. I'm in full flow. And let's embarrass you by saying who you are.
I'm one of the non-executive directors of the board.
The PCT board. Tim, I've just got into the images. You'll like this bit because you know that when you look at laboratory research, when 1 or 2 things are moving, you can apply statistics and examine it under a microscope. The moment you have lots of factors moving, or a longer period of time, or multiple things you want to achieve, those rules no longer apply. So you have to find another way of rigorously looking at it. And one of the ways, there are lots of ways, but one of the ways is to apply moving images. And I'm going to give you 3 kind of images. Gareth Morgan talks about this book called Images of Organisation. You suggest lots of images. These are, one image is the relay race, and this is my introduction to Robert. One way to think of the Southall Initiative is as a relay race, but not that one, the other one. Oh, great, thanks. Well, I want just so you see the slides, and we'll put them back up again. If you just capture a snapshot of a moving picture, you'll be very confused about what's going on. For example, you say, what are these lazy people here doing nothing? They're standing around, getting in the way of people who are trying to make a difference. Well, actually, he's just done his bit, and he's handed it over. So you have to know what the race is all about. This person here is going in the wrong direction. You have to, the relay race allows you to think differently about complex moving pictures, trying people running in front of people, I know. This, of course, is what it's all about. That only lasts a microsecond. You never see that. It's like the butterfly flapping the wing. You never see that. That is what it's all about, but actually that is invisible. Instead, what you see is that, and the skill is that. We have to develop that kind of skill, and that requires trusted relationships, systems, adhering to micro things. Of course, that's not what we do in the NHS. We do this because we don't pay attention to those kind of linkages. Now, if we want to make this world work, we have to pay attention to those linkages absolutely clearly, and they have to be based on trusted, rehearsed relationships. So, when you're looking at a relay race, the other thing to remember is the race itself is kind of only one little tiny bit of whole theatre, the games. So there's this race going on here. There's all these people here who are like there for other reasons, and there's these people doing that thing. And if you want to capture data about complex moving pictures, you have to gather data, lots of data, from different places, and you have to bring them together for people to make sense. And that's my link to you, Robert. Gathering data to help people to make sense. And I think the next slide is your slide. So.
Yes, I might say. I was sitting there quite interested because I hadn't worked out how I was going to follow the relay race. Everybody else had worked that out either, but I've got there. I've got there now. So it's about linking stuff. So I've got to think of something to say about that. Then I've talked a little bit in the past about our role in all of this, which is to do exactly that, is to draw together some data from various sources, which is not quite as easy as it sounds, and then present it in some perhaps interesting ways, in some ways that we want some feedback from people about sorts of things they'd like to see. And then I think, and both of those things are not insignificant in their own right. But they are done and have been done over time in many different ways, and as kind of one-off exercises, or rather high-effort exercises. People rushing around collecting data is not unusual. Sticking in an Excel spreadsheet and making a nice graph is not unusual, but I don't diminish that effort. But